Okay, everyone, I am back behind the chair. It has been a minute or two since I have done some videos, and I thought it'd be kind of fun if you guys could listen, watch as I do my own nails, because they're scary. They're very scary. It has been quite a while since I've done my nails. I've done some chopping them because I've been working in the warehouse, so I cut the tips off because they were longer. So I got some thickness going. I got major outgrowth going. I'm not even sure how to title this video besides just let's do some nails. And hopefully I can ask and answer some questions for you on some common mistakes, some time wasters, some just things we encounter when we're doing nails as I'm doing them on myself. It happens. Sometimes clients get sick. It's been 5 weeks since they've been in. They've filed their own nails. Their nails are misshapen. They've broken some nails. How do we deal with that when we are in the chair and we have to make them pretty again? So let's just get started and we'll see what happens. So first of all, hair goes back. Number one, most important, hair back, glasses on, because apparently seeing is important. And maybe give you guys a closer look at what we're dealing with. I don't think I'm gonna make you endure me doing the opposite hand, but we'll walk through this one. And as you can see, like, major growth. I don't have stain resistant on. I have done some dyeing, some things. My nails are stained. If you guys can see, let's see if we can get in there. We have some nails that were longer than the other nails from previous demos. So they're thick at the tip. So we have to deal with that in the process. So this one's kind of wide. I don't know what's going on there. How are we gonna make these pretty without wasting a whole lot of time? And speaking of wasting time, let's just get started. So first, as always, we're just gonna start right by pushing back the cuticle. Number one, most important. This is gonna kind of expose any protein growth that's stuck to that nail plate. If we're talking about a time waster, this is a number one where I see people wasting a lot of time because they start doing this, like push, 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 push. And then they kind of go back through it. Like, no, let's just push, push. It's a gentle push. We don't want to break any seals. We don't want to do any damage. Done. Like, pushing back the cuticles don't take a lot of time. But if you guys can notice here, look at all that growth that got exposed. This is why it's so, so important to push back the cuticle. You're going to see all this stuff right here will cause lifting if we do not get rid of it. So very important. Again, very quick, but super important. We're gonna take our arbor bit. Let me think about this, guys. So I, again, have some bulk that needs to be taken down on some of these. Some of them are okay, some of them aren't. Since that is the case, my preference, I don't wanna use this bit, because when you use an arbor bit, right, and you're taking down bulk, I think this one's acrylic, it can heat up. It's not made to shave a lot of product down. It's great for refining, it's great for prep, but not good for bulk. What we wanna do is we wanna grab something that has a little more coarse to it. We're gonna grab that safety bit coarse, and I like to take down any bulk first. Of course, I'm gonna shave more stuff down later, but as we know, I have some stain issues going on and I wanna make sure I get rid of that also. So I'm gonna start with my safety bit. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. I'm gonna start at 12,000. We'll see where we go from there. I'm gonna start with my pinky. Now, can you guys see the wideness from here? Now I can take care of that kind of with my hand file, but since I have this already out, I'm gonna kind of come up that side and shave some of that down with my electric file. Look at the difference already. How much it shaved it in and brought it in and looks better. So then we're gonna go around and this one's bulky at the tip. I'm gonna take down some of that bulkiness. kind of come through and shave it down on the side. And I know it is very hard to watch me work when I'm doing my own because the way I have to twist around, so I apologize. But this is what we need to do. And I'm gonna take that bit and kind of thin out the tip this way too. It's a little cheater's way of doing it without taking out a ton of my strength on top. Because another time waster that I see a lot of people do is they remove so much product from here, and then they're gonna have to add a bunch of product. That makes no sense. Like, leave the good product. This is good product. We're gonna work off this product. So there's no need to remove it all. So this one, again, kind of come up the side. This one isn't as thick, so I'm just gonna lightly go through, come through the side, make sure little lifting right there. Follow through, shave it down. Tip's pretty good. This one was a thinner one. Don't have to worry about that. Again, just make sure all that little fray right there. It's not huge lifting, it's just a little fray. I wanna make sure it's gone. Okay, this one's pretty stained. Staining is the most problem here. So again, we're just gonna lightly go through, and it's just a surface stain. So we're just gonna go over the surface and clean it up. Shave it down a little bit, it's a little thick. And we're gonna go through now. As I'm removing product from this one, let me show you guys something. I can actually see there's a bubble right here. And again, it's been a while since I've gotten my nails done. I've been working in the warehouse. There's a lot of things going on, but air bubbles need to be taken care of. It's just like lifting. It's lifting in the center of the nail. And as I'm filing, I'm gonna get closer and closer to that. So I gotta take care of that air bubble. What does that mean? I visually see it, I go, I have to shave down more product. I have to pretty much get rid of the air bubble completely. So this is the instance where I'm gonna go ahead and have to remove a lot of that product to get past that air bubble. And that way I won't run into getting water trapped in there, no greenies, things like that. Lifting, bubbles, air pockets, it's something we always want to make sure we take care of. We don't glue it, we remove it and reapply product. And we're done. So again, very quick, but if it's something that looks at you weird, because sometimes when we're doing it, right, we're like, I don't know, is that an air pocket? Is it an air bubble? It's probably fine. And we can run into problems. Then 2 days later, our client calls us and they're like, my nail popped off. I have an issue going on. And it's like, yeah, I kind of knew that nail was looking at me funny. I was wondering. Sometimes we just don't know. But best thing to do is if a nail looks at you funny, take care of it. So best rule of thumb, when in doubt, thin it out. Hey, all right, nice. Okay, second, the next one, this one's fairly thick. So we're gonna go ahead and shave that down. Get it ready. And guys, I'm talking, so this is taking time, but you can see, like if I was doing this in real time, it's just a quick shave it down. I'm gonna thin down that tip a little, thin it through here. Done. Okay, same thing with the thumb. It's a little stained, but it looks fairly up, down, no lifting issues. Follow through. Kind of thin through that tip. Little separation at the end, so I'm going to make sure that I go all the way down to that natural nail, get rid of that separation. Super, super important. Whether it's lifting, whether it's an air pocket, whether it's free edge separation, take care of it. Don't shortcut it. It's not worth it. Your client is going to be calling you in and you're going to have to make time for a repair. So what would you rather do? Spend the 5 seconds to take care of it right then, or have to book a repair, a fill, whatever it is. Match the color that you already did. It's not worth it. Okay. We're gonna now switch out to my arbor band. So I like to remove shave any bulk that I need to. Now typically with a regular fill, I'm not gonna have to shave down bulk, but I've done my own damage. I know I've messed them up. So we had bulk. Bulk first, prep second. I'm gonna take my arbor band and I'm gonna get right into those grooves. Check to make sure I'm on camera right in that groove, clean it nice and up. Get asked a lot about, you know, what if you have a lot of cuticle that you have to deal with? Typically, even if you have a lot of cuticle that has to be dealt with, it shouldn't take you 30 minutes to do this prep work. It should be still, even for a severe prep issue, it should be about 10 minutes max. And after that, once you've really taken care of it, after you start maintaining it, it should get faster and faster with your client. Even if your client originally had horrible cuticle problems, after you start maintaining, start doing, those should go away. So just tucking right into that cuticle. I want to do another video coming up talking about prep a little bit more. I know we've done them in the past. It's always good to update. If you notice, even though I had taken the safety bit and took bolt down, if you notice, I'm going over the top with my arbor band. The reason being is that safety bit almost smooths stuff out. It makes it a lot smoother. There's not much texture to it. And I want to make sure that the nails have texture so the product grabs. So it's a quick, just go over the top of that product, just so it has a little texture. Okay. Clean it up, come through. This is my favorite part. I love the feeling of cleaning my cuticles and watching them transform. It's satisfying. Okay, and if you notice, like for myself, I'm pulling back my skin. Same thing when we're working on a client, we want to pull back the skin, but on myself, I'm just pulling it back with my fingers so I can really tuck in there. We want to get nice and close to that cuticle. This is why it's important. I'd already done this off screen, but this is why it's super, super important when you pull out a new arbor band that you season it. It's quick, just like that. And this way you can tuck right into that cuticle area and make sure it's clean. We're fairly flat. We're not coming up like this. We're working fairly flat. That way we don't leave lines. We don't leave rings of fire. It's just like taking a hand file back there, and actually it tucks in way better than a hand file. But again, we would never want to use the edge of a hand file, right? We would never go like this with the complete edge of a hand file. We're always laying it flat, right? And tucking in that way. Same thing with the arbor band. We lay it flat and we tuck in. Follow through, get a little texture to that product, and we are good to go. Okay, so prep's done. Grab our swipe, of course. Let's get that nice and cleansed. We're gonna pull down, not side to side. I know you've heard it before, but this pushes dust into the corners. This pulls dust out of the corners. That's what we want. A nice clean nail plate to see what we're working with. Hi. I haven't even decided what we're doing on my nails, by the way. Let's see. Let's just keep going. We're gonna get our protein bond out because I'm gonna protein bond no matter what I'm doing. And let's see. I have so much different stuff going on with my nails. Who knows? Let's see. Protein bond, and I just like to go over that natural nail bed. Obviously this one has more natural nail exposed, so and I just lightly pull everything over the other existing product. I don't get stressed about it. Most important is the natural nail, of course, but if you pull it up a little up and over, it ain't gonna hurt anything. It's not like an acid primer that's gonna yellow the product. It does nothing but help it stick better. Okay, we're coming through with our second one. And boom, boom, boom. Second coat. Still trying to figure out what I want to put on myself. So many questions. And because it's all different product, you know what, guys? I think I'm just gonna float some ManiQ Fiber Gel over the top. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this so you guys can see, and also so I can see. I'm not sure which way to do that for you. Now, obviously we have some thickness, we have some thinness. If I really wanted to, I could have took this all off, but even though I'm working with the fiber gel, I can float in different areas, right? So I'm gonna take some of that fiber gel, right? And I'm gonna get a good amount on my brush, and I'm just gonna float it in that corner because it's a little thinner there than I would like it. Right. Same thing over here, and then I'm gonna turn it and I'm gonna get it in the back where I need it. Pull it lightly through, just using that product on that brush, lightly through. Float it a little to the corner. Can you float fiber gel? I do it all the time. I like it. Now, the only thing I would say is if you're afraid of the run, well, then we're just gonna grab our light, we're gonna stick it in, and while that one's happening, we're just gonna do a little work on the other hand. So just gonna freeze it real for a second, and then come right back to it. And again, literally like a second. Like, it doesn't take long. That's just so I can keep moving. Same with this one. I'm hoping you guys can see, but I'm just gonna get that in front of my brush, push it to the cuticle, push it to the cuticle, and then I'm gonna lightly float it out. This is great. Like, I like to float because I like to get my nails a little longer. They need a little more strength. I just use that brush and then lightly make it do what I want. As I get to the end, I don't want it thick, so I just put a little more pressure, wipe the excess off. Boom, we're golden. Now I'm gonna freeze it again. So again, I'm a little concerned about the movement right now because it's been a while since I've done nails and I'm doing it on myself, and I tend to, as I'm twisting and moving my fingers, I bump my own nails. The client, I might do one at a time. I might do two at a time and freeze. I might get all the way through 5. It just depends how much I'm putting on and how much I'm worried about. But as I spin, I'm constantly hitting my own nails. So I just prefer to freeze it in between and not have to stress about it. Now this one, we're going to, again, get a good amount on our brush. I kind of Dairy Queen it to the front of my brush and use it and kind of wiggle it and get it where I want it. I'm gonna get a good amount more on my brush. So people tend to work with too little on their brush and they sit there and they try to work it. Just grab more. Now, you don't have to do fiber gel this thick. I want it a little thicker because I'm working over existing product. I'm working over gel. I didn't feel like thinning everything out. So I'll build it up a little bit. I'm gonna use it more of a hard gel versus just a natural nail thin coat. And as my nails get longer, I'm gonna have to do that anyway. It's not that you can do a thin coat of fiber gel and get your nails this long. As you get your nails this long, same rules apply as it does with acrylic and with hard gel. You have to start building yourself an apex. You have to make some strength. You have to get a little thicker. And that's what I love about the fiber gel. You can do that. You can play it both ways. You can do, the only thing I wouldn't do with fiber gel is sculpt with it. So, and we're just gonna push it back to that cuticle. I've had a lot of conversations with people lately about shaking. And I'm a horrible shaker, but I just use it to my benefit. Like, oh, I'm just wiggling. The wiggling is easier for me because I shake naturally. So we'll just use it as a wiggle and a feathering. Okay, this one, I'm gonna come down the side. Make Make sure we got this side. Make sure we get it coming from the sidewall. This one is a little thick on the tip, so I'm gonna just wipe my brush off, come through, remove that excess. In the light. Just about 5 seconds, we can move on. So if you're working on yourself, guys, this is the tip. Don't sit here and put it on, cure for 60 seconds, go to the next nail, go to the next nail. It's just a quick cure. It gets the product from moving. If I hit my finger on it, it's not gonna be a big deal. It's not gonna dent it. It's not gonna do anything like that. Okay, and lastly, the thumb. Again, get a good mount. Walk it back there. And pull it forward. Push it back to that cuticle. Get a little more on my brush. Push it back. Working with a good amount on your brush is gonna make your life easier. I know it seems opposite, especially if you're new to nails. You tend to wipe everything off and then it just makes it hard to guide it and move it. Get this up close to my face, guys. Sorry, because I have a hard time seeing my own corners sometimes. Okay, right? Put it in light. And now I'm gonna do my final cure. I'm gonna do my 60-second cure with this and we'll move on from there. Okay, light's done. Our 60 seconds is up. We're gonna go up our ManiQ Cleanser and we're gonna go to it. Now people ask, can I use swipe? Yeah, you can use swipe, just don't oversaturate. Remember that, fiber gel is a soakable gel, and swipe has acetone in it. So if we're oversaturating it, it could gum it up, it could cause problems. So if I have my ManiQ Cleanse, I use it. I don't have to worry about it. It cleanses the sticky layer off very well. But if you have swipe, literally what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump a good amount on here, if that's all you have, and just wipe it quickly. Don't sit here and go, because you can run into issues. Okay. Now guys, if you just watched Greg's video on fiber gel and how to do a fill, I don't think he filed afterwards, but remember, I was working over thickness, I was working over product. I didn't even my nails out perfectly when I was doing that, so I'm actually going to file over the top of this. I'd rather do that quickly than sit there and try to file everything down, then make it all perfect and smooth. For me, it's faster to do it this way. So preference, and again, if it's a very short nail and I'm just putting very thin coats on and it's more like a polish, yeah, there's no need to file because it's nice and smooth. But if you're building a little bit more like I did, then you might have some shaping and some things that you need to do. And I don't have much to do. It's very self-leveling. I didn't build up a ton, so I'm not even gonna grab my electric file. This is more of a hand file thing for me real quick. We're just gonna do a little sidewall shaping, a little squaring off, and just following through and blending everything in, just quickly. Okay, same thing here. Now this one's a little fatter. I don't know if you can see it. Like that's not pretty. It's starting to grow out. So we need to make sure we bring our sidewalls in nice. So we have a more nice tapered nail. I'm gonna shape it so it looks a little better. Bring that sidewall in a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and sharp. And then just slightly taper it down. That's gonna give us that illusion of thinness, keeping strength in the center. If you notice, the way it looks is my file is pointed this way. It's just hitting the surface of the tip. Again, so if you look at the scratch marks, you can see I'm not hitting back here at all right now. I'm just giving that tapered in, nice, thin nail look. Then I can go back here, just blend it in really quick. something here. Up. Up. I've had some people ask me how much I would charge for this. It would be the same price as a fill. Whatever I charge for a fill for acrylic or gel, it's going to be the same price for doing this. It's just a different product. So I'm just giving myself what I want and what my nails need. My nails do really well with the fiber gel. I'm really impressed with it. I was kind of, not gonna lie to you guys, I'll be perfectly honest. I was kind of against this stuff when we first started testing it, and now I'm obsessed. That's all I've been wearing on most of my fingers, except for the ones that Greg is demoing on. So if you're looking to kind of work with your own natural nails, this is the way to go. And follow through, take that shine off, because I don't want my nails to stain like they did last time. So what am I gonna use? I'm gonna use stain resistant. Stain resistant works very well over the fiber gel, but again, I have some strength and structure to them. It's not just a thin coat. When you put a thin coat of a soakable gel, there's more flexibility that natural nail gives and bends, and a lot of times it will crack. So that's why we tell you not to put stain resistant over just a natural nail gel polish. But I have a little strength and structure to this fiber gel, so I'm gonna be just fine by doing it. So again, I learned my lesson. I am doing some remodeling in my guest room. I'm painting, I'm staining, and I stained my own nails. And I don't want to do that again. Okay, we are finished. So what's next? We're gonna cleanse ourselves off, and we're gonna go into our stain resistant, and we're gonna be done. Let's clean up our table. Let's grab our swipe. I'm just gonna quickly cleanse ourselves off again. This also helps me because sometimes dust is kind of deceiving. So you'll think like, oh, the shape is pretty good, but you kind of cleanse it. This is gonna give you a more, a better idea of what the nails are gonna look like when you top coat them. And I find actually that when I swipe them clean, they look better than I thought they were going to, because that dust kind of leaves tracks and things that you're seeing that aren't really there. It's just dust. This one, I did see that it needed a little more finessing. I think we're good, man. Now, if at this point, guys, if you are like, my tip still looks a little thick, maybe on the thumb, you can always go back and take that little arbor band that you had. And again, it's just a tip and trick. We're gonna turn up the speed a little. And you just kind of go at it at a 45-degree angle, because I don't want to take any more off of here because I'll lose some strength, right? So I'm gonna just go underneath. And that's giving that illusion of thinness without removing any strength. And it kind of cleans everything up. Gives you a nice little curve. So it's just a little tip if you want. Let's go ahead and protein bond. And I'll go over that whole surface of the nail. Remember, we don't buff. We don't buff. We add one coat of protein bond to everything. This is going to make sure that that top coat is nice and secure and sticks to your product. But if you smooth the nail out, you're going to get chipping. And if you're having top coat or gel polish from chipping from your product, it's probably because you're smoothing the nail out too much. So I know it's a habit. It's an old school habit I had, but it's a no-no, guys. Don't do it. And it's a time waster, major time waster. Okay, I'm gonna grab my top coat, get some stain resistant on. Then I will clean up my cuticle, not my cuticle, my sidewalls. Not my sidewalls, what am I trying to say? My skin is dry, so I like to finish everything through, and then if I need to nip any dead skin or anything, that's when I do it. I don't like to do it prior. And the reason being, guys, if you do a lot of removal at first, like those little frays or whatever. Sometimes if you hit it with your hand file or your electric file, then you can cause your client to bleed. So if you do it afterwards, you don't have to worry about it because you're not going to be going back over it with a hand file. And remember, I only remove the dead stuff. That's why I don't do a Russian manicure or anything like that. We're only going to go in and remove stuff that is dead. Okay. And for 60 seconds, and then we'll be back with the final look. Okie dokie, we are done. Got our swipe. I'm gonna go ahead and just cleanse that sticky layer off. And we are done. Now I like to sometimes just make sure everything's nice and shaped right, because when you get that shine on it or you get a color on it, that's when you see all your flaws and your mistakes. Plus I like to make sure there's nothing stuck to their skin. So just come through, get some oil, and saturate the skin. I need it. I'll finish the other side tomorrow because I don't have it in me tonight. But that is doing nails with me, getting my nails fixed and set. They look much better. And again, what this is all about is we have situations like this when the client has just went way too long. They've shortened their own nails. They've clipped some of the nails. Some are on, some are off. And you are just like looking at this, trying to think, what the heck am I gonna do? Just like, once we know visually, like that one's thick, I need to thin it down more. That one has lifting, I need to do this. Once you have what to do when the things go wrong like this, that's when you have speed, because it's on automatic pilot. You automatically know how to do it. You don't have to look at each nail individually and go, oh, let me think, wasting time. It's just automatic. And as we practice, as we do more nails, this is what we learn.
We've got endless amounts of videos, so do not stop now. Click, watch, keep that going, and don't forget to give us one of these.